Congratulations on Thrones.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Got to check it out last week at the Collider screening. It was a lot of fun. It's as many sex and poop jokes as you would expect from a trailer. So I really wanted to start with it, and I didn't have the greatest compliment possible. But I wanted to start by complimenting you on just the way the film balances a really good emotional through line. Like, it's a really deep, like, getting over an abusive ex story in this film about dogs yelling and doing crap.
Yeah, I very much appreciate that. I mean, that was for me, obviously I want my films, and this film in particular, to be funny and outrageous and all of the things you want it to be. But I really wanted it to also kind of have a very sweet, soft, emotional center, which, and have something to say. And when I first read the script and then started working with Dan Peralt, the writer, it became clear right away that this is in fact a deeper story about getting over out of a unhealthy, toxic relationship, and how your friends can come together and support you through that. And then how, in the end of the day, how you can re-find your own sense of self-worth, which again, sounds silly to talk about all that depth inside of a very outrageous, talking dog movie. But I always think for the best comedies to really work, they do have some depth and they have some emotion. There's something to say. And, when I'm working with my actors and like thinking about, well, what's the point of this all? What are we saying? What is this film about? It's always nice to have an answer to that, And so I'm really glad that you picked up on that and felt that. And I hope that's maybe a surprise for audiences, that they come for the laughs and then are sort of surprised by how maybe emotionally invested they get through the story.
That was very much what I was taking away. Like, I cannot wait for everybody to come out of this movie and just be like, I came for the dick jokes. I didn't expect the heart. But I just want to speak for, like, how do you, as a filmmaker, how do you approach the balance between those two tenors, especially when you're, working with a voice actor, the cast is primarily voice acting, you have the animal acting, you have Will Forte trying to just be the worst human being alive.
Yes,
yeah. How do you kind of approach that balance?
Yeah, I mean, I love that challenge of like making sure that there's a cohesive tone, right, through a film. That's, I think, probably the most important thing I can do as a filmmaker, a director. And so it was always a bit of a challenge. I knew that in terms of the dog's performance, I worked really hard with the trainers to really learn what techniques and tools they have at their disposal to convey real emotion. And I tried to not overly anthropomorphize the dogs. I wanted you to kind of feel like when a dog was confused, it tilted its head the way we sort of know. But certainly there's moments where the dogs are lowering their heads when Reggie's ashamed to admit that he still misses Doug. And there's moments like that I needed to pull out. And then, of course, when I get with my cast, Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx, and I had them in the room together, which made a huge difference, both for the comedy, but then also there are some big fights, as you know, in the film. There are emotional moments. And having amazing actors like that react to one another makes all the difference in the world in their performance. And then the last one you pointed out, I thought the most challenging role in a lot of ways. I mean, they were all uniquely challenging for their own way, but Will Forte. I mean, he's playing in Doug, he's playing a villain who... The first call I had with Will is he was all on board. He was so excited to work together. We hadn't worked together yet. And he said, I think I have to play him pretty mean, right? And I said, I think you're right. Yeah, I agree. Like, we want to make sure we're laughing, and Will Forte does it better than anybody, that he can be this kind of like villain who you enjoy watching. But for the plot of the film to work, you kind of have to hate this guy and want him to get his comeuppance. And so... Will just went there in the perfect tone, that worked for I think the story we needed to tell. So, he's an incredible actor. He's so funny, but he's also got real dramatic chops whenever you need them. So.
Oh yeah, that's kind of the trick to a good comedic actor, is they can really, like, at the end of the film when Will all of a sudden becomes kind of scary. It's a moment. Oh my God!
Yes,
you nailed it.
Yeah, no, I love that. I will report that you thought you nailed it too, but I did as well. I was finding that, like, and obviously camera angles and music and things help, but Will Forte, in those moments, I'm like, oh, maybe too scary, Will. Like, he sells it, in a way that you forget that he's like, he's a really talented dramatic actor, and when you need it, he's there. But when he needs to dial it back and still be a little scary but a little silly, he finds that balance somehow better than anybody.
Oh, I love him so much. I've never gotten to interview him, and I want it so bad.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you so much for taking the time. Honestly, congrats on the film. It is a lot of fun. I'm so excited for everybody else to get to see it. Have a good rest of your day, a good rest of however many more you got to get through. I'll be soon.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope to see you again soon. It's always great to chat with you.